Oh, that's just a placebo. Right, now this bugs me a lot because people think placebo means things don't work. The reality is placebo works, and actually placebo is massively powerful. In fact, I think sometimes it's misinterpreted or misused even. And I think placebo really is more about psychology and the effect of that, rather than faking something big time. And I think the reality is that if you think of psychotherapy, counseling, CBT, all these different things, they're manipulating psychology. Does that mean because they're not physical interventions that they are not legitimate? They're not affecting biology of the body and the way that we affect pain or affect function or affect whatever else? The reality is it's psychology. So is not the reason placebo works actually psychology, and therefore are we not wanting that? Or do we want to improve the outcomes of patients by manipulating how they feel or think about something, even though that actual thinking is not physical, alongside a legitimate physical treatment that works? Well, the reality is yes. But this study that we're looking at here today is on placebo, and I found this a fascinating study. It was really, really interesting because it kind of shows again the psychology behind placebo. So they had 120 people in this study, and they split them into 3 groups. And the first group had analgesic cream, but it was fake, so it was placebo analgesic cream. The second group also had this cream as well, and the third group were just a control group who didn't have anything. What was interesting with the first 2 groups, because they sound the same at the moment, is the first group actually used the cream. The second group just possessed the cream and didn't use it. And you would assume that using the cream, the placebo cream, would work, and the other 2 wouldn't work because you didn't use it. Well, you couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that merely possessing the cream was as effective as actually applying the cream. And this is really interesting because it shows you that having something potentially that you can use gives you sort of control over your symptoms, and therefore controls your symptoms better. So the control component, the feeling like you've got control of your own destiny, and maybe that's stress related as well, has an impact, it would appear, on this. And therefore, again, it's psychology, not necessarily just, oh, it's just placebo, but it worked, and it works. And I see this in real life. I see patients who will ring into book, and they'll come for the session, and they'll say, well, since I booked in, I feel so much better, And you're like, well, yeah, that's because you're taking control, you're taking charge, and your stress levels will drop because you think, finally I've got something in play which is going to help me, and it gives you control back. And this helps, therefore, your symptoms. And this happens so much to patients that I see all of the time. So next time someone says, oh, that's just a placebo, placebos work. And you don't even need to use them in this case, in this study. But it's really interesting. It just shows you that it's so psychological. It's and maybe more to it than that, of course, but there's a highlighted element in this case. So that was really interesting, that study. Anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.